I put off chatting and learning how to train chatters for a very long time to my detriment. And now that I have started to do it, I have made way more money and my life is unironically, actually, no exaggeration, much better. A lot more stress, but it's part of the game. And as my own knowledge of chatting develops, I come across from time to time things that I see my chatters do that I don't like. And one of those things is using one of these phrases or questions in their chatting. So in this video, I'm going to go over, I've got 4 here. I might think of some more as I'm doing this, but I've got 4 things to never say in a conversation with a sub. Now, this is like most of these are for like a new sub that you don't have a relationship with and you haven't sold any content with. It's not like somebody that you've known for a long time and there's, it's like not a friend, right? Okay, so things to never say in chatting. I'm going to tell you what they are and I'm going to tell you why. By the way, my name is Yellow Poppy. Check out simphunter.com. Check out for information about OnlyFans agency stuff. Check out trendhunter.io for the hottest Instagram and TikTok trends for OnlyFans models, model marketplace, links in the description, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so question number 1, or thing number 1 to never say in chatting. How are you? You got to understand like this. When you chat, okay, every message that you send, especially early on, every message that you send, right, is a sniper bullet that if you do not hit your mark with that bullet, you're going to lose. Or it becomes much harder to like dig yourself out and turn around a stupid or shit or boring conversation than it is to like nail it right from the get-go and start off on the right foot. My dad always used to tell me you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's very true. And it is the same with chatting as well. Now, why is how are you a fucking stupid question that if I see my chatters ask that question, like I go berserk, like I lose my shit. And the reason, I'll say it one more time just for emphasis. The reason is that when you're starting a conversation with a new sub, this usually happens at the beginning of a conversation where you ask fucking dumb questions like this. When you're starting a new conversation with them, you are obviously competing with a lot of other stuff for their attention. And if you don't capture if you don't send something compelling in the first message and you're not interesting immediately from the get-go, then you just lost a ton of the momentum. So why is how are you stupid? It's like what are they going to say, right? What is the sub going to say? Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. And then what? And then that's it. Maybe he'll say, oh, I'm good. How are you? What have you accomplished? Nothing. Well, what's the point of asking that? You could have said anything else and gotten a much more interesting, engaged, invested response, but you just wasted your first sniper bullet, the most important one, arguably, on some dumb shit. Now, what I like to have people do now, okay, so this is usually done in like the first message or 2 messages. So usually what chatters will do if they're, unaware of this, let's give them the benefit of the doubt and just say that it never occurred to them that was a stupid question. What they'll say is they'll be like, hey, Steve, how are you? What I will have them do instead, and this, assumes that the sub has like an actual username, is I will make them do a personalized opener with a play on the username. So if it's Steve, for example, it'd be like, hey, Steve, so glad you're here. By the way, are you Steve Jobs? I hate to tell you this, but I don't have an iPhone. I have a Samsung, right? It's a lot of work, right? A lot of investment early on from the chatter to do that. But that message or series of messages is much more likely to get a response. And it doesn't, and there's a few reasons for that. I don't want to go into them all right now, but that's much more likely to get a response than how are you? How are you is not interesting. It's like, oh, you should just ask me how I am. Like, it's boring. Like, who cares? Like, let me see what else there is. But now she's talking about Steve Jobs, Samsung. There's a lot of threads for the sub to pull on. So that's number 1. I fucking lose my shit when I see that. And all variations of how are you are included in this. What's up? How's it going? It's all the same. It doesn't have to be how are you. The second thing that you should never say in chatting, this is similar to the last one, but what are you doing? When I see that, okay, so when I train chatters, I tell them a few things, but like the overarching principle of chatting, you put a lot of effort into it, okay? You will be rewarded proportionally in sales, any kind of sales, with the amount of effort that you put into communicating with your customer. Let's just call it that. If you don't put a lot of effort in, yeah, you'll get the easy customers here and there, but you won't get a lot from them. You won't get as much as if you put effort into them. You might make a sale or two here and there, but you will not turn them into a lifelong customer who gives you all their money because they fucking like you. Number one is effort. Number two is develop a genuine interest in the sub. Develop an interest. Don't be interesting, be interested, right? It's another tip from sales. What are you doing is low effort and very little interest. Very little interest. I guess it's some interest because you are technically asking them a question about themselves, but it's such a lazy question. Number one, it's a lazy question. Okay. Like, what are you doing? Motherfucker, what do you think he's doing? He's on the fucking computer or on the phone talking to you. That's what he's doing. And that's what he's going to say. Well, he's not going to say that. He's going to be like, oh, nothing. Okay. And what have you done with that very valuable opportunity to communicate with somebody who could put thousands of dollars in your pocket? And what did you decide to do? You decided to ask them what they're doing. You know what they're doing. You know exactly what they're doing. Fucking makes me want to lose my shit. The third thing to never say in chatting is some variation of this, of like, oh, wow, you're rich, or oh, wow, you must make a lot of money, or oh, wow, fucking whatever. I tell this to my chatters. I say, yes, you are there to get money. The sub knows you want money, but you do not want to throw it in their face. Okay. So this is something slightly unrelated, but this is something that so I used to go for the holidays. I used to go to my cousin's house, and there was like a family friend there. He was a couple of years older than me. And he wasn't related to us, but him and his dad were like very close with my uncle's family. And so he was like basically like family. Like I considered him one of my cousins. Very cool guy. So we used to like go off in the family, get-togethers and go smoke weed. And like, I remember one time, cause he would tell me that his dad knew that he smoked weed. And it was the type of thing that like, they had that relationship. I didn't have that relationship with my parents where I could go fucking tell them I'm gonna go smoke a joint with, his name was Christian. Like, yeah, me and Christian, we're gonna go fucking hit the blunt, like down the street. And we'll be back in a couple hours, maybe. Like, I couldn't say that to them. And I said to him, like, I don't know, we were talking about it one day, and he goes, you can do whatever you want, but you just have to show them respect and not throw it in their face. Like, you can't fucking talk about smoking the joint in front of him. You can't fucking smoke the joint in front of him, whatever. Like, that would be disrespectful to him because it's his obligation as a parent to not allow you to do that. And it puts him in an awkward position. So this is kind of like that, except this is, different. Obviously, this is a buyer seller dynamic. So you want to show the sub respect. You want to show them the respect. You want to do them the courtesy of not throwing it in their face that you want their money. It's so disrespectful. As a salesperson, you might think, and I fell into this trap myself when I did commission-only sales all the time. Like, you might think, like, I just want to be real with this person. I just want to tell this person the unfiltered, full retard truth about what I'm saying. So I would say stuff like, well, look, to be honest with you, I really want to make the sale. So blah, blah, blah. And when I did that, the chances of me making money, actually getting the sale, went way down, because I was, even if it was honest, even if it was genuine, like, it was bringing to the attention to the customer the fact that if they took a specific action, the action that I wanted them to take, I would directly receive a benefit from that. And that tints everything that you say in a negative way, in a way that is not going to, help you fucking get the money. So it's not a good thing to say. And when you say shit like, oh, you're rich. Oh, you must make so much money. Wow, you can buy everything. You can definitely buy this content from me. It's terrible. It's awful, right? I'll give you one more example. We'll move to the next one. When you're trying to court a woman, let's call it. You're dating a girl. It's the first date, second date, whatever. Let's be honest, gentlemen. Like, yeah, okay, maybe some of you are looking for a companion. Maybe some of you are looking for your wife or whatever. But like, you go out. I mean, this is me at least. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys are not like this. But like, if I go out with a girl, I want to fuck her. You know what I mean? And like, that's why I'm going out with her. That's why I'm going and buying her dinner. That's why we're going to get drinks. That's why I'm fucking texting her. That's why I'm talking to her. That's why I'm doing all this stuff, is so I can stick my dick inside her. You know what I mean? However, and she knows that. They know. They're not stupid. They're not idiots. But they enjoy the experience as long as you don't throw that in their face. I can't say to a girl, be like, well, yeah, like I'm going to take you to a really nice place because I really want to fuck you. Right? You can't do that. You can't say after the dinner, well, you know, I'm feeling kind of tipsy. I'd really like to fuck right now. Do you want to go fuck? Like, you can't do that. It's disrespectful to them. Not because, I'm not saying it's disrespectful because you're like mean to women or you're a pig or something like that. It's from the perspective of the seller, which you are as a man, to be honest. From the seller to the buyer, you are not respecting the buyer because you have not, beautified your conversation, let's say, in a way that will make them want to buy, which is your responsibility as the seller or the chatter in this case. And all you have to do is just not say that thing. Right? It's not even an action you need to take. It's like a non-action. It's a fucking, just don't do this thing. The fourth thing to never say in chatting, this one drives me up the fucking wall. They all drive me up the wall, is some variation of, are you going to unlock it? Okay. So picture the situation. Your chatter's talking to a sub, going back and forth, sends a PPV to unlock. Sub doesn't unlock it. Let's say like he doesn't respond. He stops responding after that. Or they continue talking. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If the chatter sends something like, oh, babe, you're not going to unlock this? Why is it bad? Number one, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? He's going to come up with some excuse about why he can't buy it. Right? He's not going to say, here's the truth. Here's the truth. Sometimes they say this, but usually not. If you've built some kind of connection with them, they usually don't say this. But sometimes what they say is like, oh, I don't think that how you have priced that piece of content is worth the money that you are asking for it. Sometimes they say that. Like sometimes you'll hear a fucking sub say like, oh, but this girl sells full-length videos for $10 and you want, $10 for a 20-second video. I don't think that's fair. Some of them do say that. However, that same sub, if he's having a good time, if he's enjoying the conversation, if he feels an emotional bond with, the girl, then he will pay $10 for a 20-second video. He will buy it. So like that, math is not the reason why they're not buying it. The reason they're not buying it, there's lots of reasons, right? But like at the end of the day, that's the reason. They're like, I have money. They want my money. They want me to watch this 20-second video. I don't feel like my money is worth that 20-second video. And there's a lot of ways to make it worth that 20-second video. The best way, in my opinion, is to build an emotional connection with the sub so that they would buy air. They would buy a picture of a white screen for $10 or $20 or $100 or whatever. Goodnight John sells fucking pictures of his ramen for $100. Like, you know what I mean? And the reason that he does that, obviously you can't do that with everybody, but the reason that he does that, the reason he's able to do that is because he or his chatters or whoever it is, he posted the screenshots. I assume it was him. Maybe it was one of his chatters. Who knows? The reason he's able to do that is because he has spent the time to adequately build a connection with the sub. If they do not buy the content, that is the reason why. And you asking, oh, are you going to unlock it? Are you going to buy it, babe? You'll really like it. You'll come so much. Some dumb shit like that. They're not going to be like, oh, my bad. I didn't even see that. Oh, it totally slipped past me. I didn't even notice that. They're going to come up with some excuse as to why they can't buy it. Oh, my card doesn't work. Oh, I need to wait for my salary. I fucking hate, like sometimes I have my chatter submit reports. It doesn't happen anymore because like I put a stop to it. But they'll say like, oh, you know, no, sales weren't good today. All the subs are waiting for their salary. Waiting for their salary. I know he's got $20. I know he's got $100 in his account. Like, they have more than that. There is no waiting for the salary. What that means is you just didn't do a good job giving him enough value so that he spent that money. It is possible to do that with everybody. You know, the amount of work required to do it with like the most difficult people, I'm not saying that's worth it. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, this, you know, begging of like, babe, are you going to unlock it? Are you going to watch my video, babe? Make sure you tell me how much you like it. You're not fucking slick, bro. You're not clever. They're not going to be like, oh, well, I do want to give you my feedback on your fucking dildo video, so I'll give you $20. So I hate it, okay? And I don't like seeing, and not only that, here's another bad thing about it, is it puts you, it lowers your value to the point where you are like asking them to do something for you. Oh, will you please do this thing for me? No, that's not how the relationship should be. Like, they should just unlock everything that you send because they fucking like you. I don't know if I did tell this story about like the girl that I was texting and I didn't even want to go out with her. And like, she was so good at conversation. I was like, well, okay, fine, let's go. She's super hot, by the way. Okay. Anyway, those are the things to never say in chatting. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe. Check out all my links. That's it. See you in the next one.